What the rock is cooking.
All right, what's going on, everybody? All right, so who is oh goodness, what a night, what a night, what a night. It's right now it's 12:48 in the morning, and I'm just getting in from my friend's house. Just got done watching WWE Backlash. For the folks, well, first of all, let me introduce this fucking show. First of all, I'm sorry I'm up here going on and on and on about what the fuck I did. Anyway, welcome to hashtag Heels for Life. I'm your host, Mr. Team Bring It. In a minute, I'm about to bring on my co-host, Mr. Sea Dog. And for the folks, once again, that is viewing this recording, we are also streaming from YouTube.com as well. So if you want to find us on YouTube, you can go to hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. This video will be up tomorrow afternoon. I still have to upload the show from last Thursday's show, but if you guys want to view, or if you guys missed the podcast, whatever, you can also either go back on. You can either come on Facebook Live, and you can follow me, Mr. Team Bridget, aka Chris Dilworth, on Facebook, or you can follow Mr. C Dog Collins, Matthew Collins at Facebook.com. All right, so let me go on, and remember to share this podcast, even though y'all motherfuckers are late tonight. Y'all up late. That's fine. That's cool. That's what's up, because we need to talk about Backlash tonight. Backlash was an epic fucking fail. That's plain and simple, but we're going to get into that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to bring on my co-host real quick, and then I'm going to get to the other calls if y'all still up. All right, so let me bring on Mr. Quick. Because like I said, this shit is not going to take too long. Trust me when I tell you that. It's not going to take long at all. It's, the pay-per-view itself, for the very first time in I don't know how long, I was literally asleep through the fucking pay-per-view. Anywho, that's Mr. C Dog. He's with me right now. How you doing, Mr. C Dog?
What's going on, man?
Man, I can't call it. I cannot call it. Okay, so you might have to help me out, because I bullshit you not. Half the pay-per-view, I was knocked out. I mean, literally knocked out, and not for good reason. My ass got fat. I ate some Topper's pizza, and then the next thing I know, I'm up here watching probably the Miz versus what was it? The Miz versus Seth Rollins. Probably the best match of the night. And then after that, I don't really remember. It was just like kind of like in spurts or whatever. I remember certain matches, but overall, the pay-per-view it should be renamed Back Trash. That's basically what we're doing. We are reading Back Trash. Okay? So I'm gonna let you go first and like give your opinions about the pay-per-views, or about the pay-per-view, and then reaction. Go ahead.
Well, to be quite honest, I really don't know what to say about the pay-per-view. To be quite honest, because Um, it there were some matches that just left me in utter shock. Those matches in particular, two matches in particular, the Carmella versus Charlotte match
Hmm.
and the AJ versus Shinsuke match.
Mm. Mm.
Both those two matches had some giant swerves in it. Um, the Ruby and Bailey match, I really wasn't too surprised by that because right now they kind of got Bailey on this whole losing streak thing, kind of like what they doing with Roman. Basically got her losing a bunch of matches and stuff.
Mm.
So that ain't really nothing new. The Miz and Seth match of the night, hands down. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it from start to finish. There were definitely some times that I thought Miz was going to go over, but that's not what happened. So, um, but overall, I mean, they had a great match. Um, the Carmella and Charlotte match, I'll definitely have to say that that was definitely one of those matches where Charlotte pretty much gave gave Carmella more than than what uh, than what was expected.
Mm.
I figured it'd be a back and forth type match, but I mean, mo- majority of the match, I mean, it was Carmella that was pretty much powering through most of the match. So I mean,
Mm.
like I said, there were some matches that I thought that were going to be good and turned out to be very disappointing.
Mm. All right, so let's read some of these comments real quick. Okay, so Eric said, "What was the swerve in either of those matches? Felt like those was pretty predictable outcomes." Jordan said that Charlotte put Carmella over. They looked good in the whole match, and then Jordan also said that Carmella is actually good in the ring. Eric also said that. So let me see. Hold on one second. Let's see. All right. So Lee said that the pay per view was trash. I also fell asleep. Lee also went on to say that we could have put on a better pay per view in a universal mode. He talked about WWE 2K18. He also said that the so was the audience. New York or New Jersey was trash. I totally disagree. I think the crowd was into it. It's just the
Oh
matches
yeah.
itself were kind of slow, were trash, and too many holds, and it's like they were spending more time hugging each other versus wrestling. But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I was gonna put this in the comments, but I'll just say it in person. Jordan. I'm not saying that Carmelo wasn't good in the ring. I wasn't saying that she didn't put on a good match. What I'm saying is that basically Carmella was put over in the match, and Charlotte didn't do as much as she usually does in her wrestling matches. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can take it for that. I mean, you can. I don't know why you're trying to say that we're saying that she can't wrestle or that she sucks and all this other stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm sitting here saying is that Charlotte did not have her usual match that she usually has during these pay-per-views, especially when it's for a title. So I mean, you can go on and on about Carmella's great and all this other stuff. I'm not taking that away from you. What I'm sitting here saying is that Charlotte did not put on one of her usual matches that she usually does when it comes to these championship matches.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm sorry, but I'm going to who's the one who just said that? Was that
Jordan.
Jordan? Well, Mr. Jordan, I think me and you probably going to have to kind of clash because I really feel that Carmella cannot wrestle. I just really feel now she can wrestle better than that one bitch that we are not going to name, the redhead that used to be in the WWE. She can wrestle better than her. But I really believe that Carmella, the reason why we didn't see the old Charlotte was because, well, Carmella's not really up to her speed. So she has to kind of come down a little bit. Now, Carmella is very entertaining. Don't get me wrong. She's a very annoying hit. She does her job very well. But at the same time, in the ring, come on now. On paper, you know that the match was cute. But in reality, Carmella's no match for Charlotte. So Charlotte has to kind of level it down a little bit. So, you know, that's
I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much how I saw it. I mean, I agree with you, Chris. I mean, I feel like Charlotte kind of nerfed a lot of her in-ring abilities.
That's funny that you use the word nerf because you know we use that word nerf in video games. That's fucked up. Exactly. That's hilarious. Nerfed. Now I like that. I like that term because that's how I really got the match. She was like literally nerfed. Like Charlotte just was not herself. You know, and I could feel that. And that brings me on to, you know, what's to come with Carmella's future matches. I mean, because to be honest with you, you know, she's going around talking about, I'm champion! I'm champion! I'm the champ! I beat Charlotte! You know, and I'm just like, girl.
And see, that's the same thought process. That's the same thought process I'm having. With Charlotte losing her rematch, Charlotte pretty much goes to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. With Alexa losing her match, she goes to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. So my next question is, who do they have next in line to go up against these two champions?
I mean, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. Like, honestly, bro, I really could not tell you. I can't really think of, like, the only person I could probably think of is Asuka. But Asuka has been, like, thrown to yesterday's trash. Like, she is the empress of yesterday. Like, no one's really thinking about her. Like, you had your time. You've been dominated for the last 2 years. So now we're going to put you on the back burner. We're going to put you on the shelf until we need you again. When we go back to Japan or something like that where we're, like, you know, promoting you like international, we international star, we probably will use you. Just like how they Jinder Mahal. Well, I can't talk about Jinder Mahal because they don't use him at all. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody that, you know, on Raw that is, I mean, not Raw, but on SmackDown that is. I can't really think of anybody. That's really fucked up.
Pretty much the truth. I mean, with Nia, there's decent talent for the women.
Can't hear you, bro.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. There's great talent on both rosters. There's great talent on both. But it's like you said. I mean, they're not really using Asuka. They're not really using Asuka. They really don't have Naomi in anything. They are putting over Iconic, which that kind of worries me because it's where they could do that whole world champion crap again, just like they did with Lay Cool, if you remember.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
I mean, to be quite honest, they're not really doing anything with any of the other divas on either roster. They're building up Ronda. Ronda has that match against Mickey James, which that's going to be a great match because I mean Mickey James puts on a phenomenal match no matter who she's going up against.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ember Moon on the Raw roster right now, and she's pretty much doing tag matches right now. She had one singles match against Mickey James, which was great, and the fans were basically looking like they were in La La Land, like they were
Mm-hmm.
sleeping through the whole match.
And you know, honestly, bro, that's what really bothers me. That's what really bothers me. And Amber Moon in NXT was probably the bitch that no one could fuck with. She was the bitch that you had to go
Yeah.
through. But now that she's on the main roster, it's like she's irrelevant. Like no one's using her. And that's what before we was talking about the shuffle, or before we was talking about the trade, I knew
Right.
that one of the whoever came from NXT was gonna end up on the main roster, and they was gonna be lost in the shuffle. Look at Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode went from a awesome fucking heel in NXT to now
Mm-hmm.
dancing on pay-per-views. Like we're dancing with the stars.
Yeah, I'm not, I wouldn't even want to talk about that spot honestly, because that spot just had me just seriously. Um, I did, you know what? I did enjoy Jeff and Randy's match. Somebody said in the comments, I believe it should have been made a triple threat. I believe Shelton Benjamin should have been added to that match
I
just
agree.
for that extra, uh, just for that extra agility type factor being put
I,
into it. Um,
I think you know
I
what
don't.
I'm gonna put my 2 cents in there on that match. Honestly,
Okay.
I think they showed their age. Like seriously, like maybe like
Agreed.
10 years ago
Agreed.
when they fought each other at the Royal Rumble, they were good. I mean, it was
That
Twisted Fate
match was
versus
like this.
KO. They both had the same moves, but they do their shit differently.
Yeah.
And like this match also was just a lackluster. Like I want so much. I guess my expectations is so fucking high for Jeff and
Hmm.
for Orton, but because their age and how they were slow in the ring, it's just like
Yes.
it didn't. I don't know. I wasn't really into
I
the match.
mean, yeah. I mean, definitely. And listen, Mr. Double D, I'm gonna call you that because I can't pronounce your first name and your last name. It just feels weird calling somebody Dinkins. So Double D, what I'm gonna say is that I understand that there's not a lot of room on
I think
pay-per-views.
you talk
Not
about the
everybody's
one.
gonna get a
I think you talk about
huh.
the. I think you talk about the one.
I can't.
The one, yeah, the one.
Um,
Continue.
I know we know there's not room for everybody. We know not every pay-per-view is gonna have the people that we would prefer on there.
Mm,
What I'm saying is because basically what they were doing is they were tying up loose ends that basically they need to tie up when the draft went on. Uh, the match between Roman and Samoa Joe, to be quite honest, I think I'm gonna say it like this because I've experienced this. You have certain wrestlers that basically bring out more in you than anybody else will. Samoa Joe is that type of wrestler that can basically uh, adapt to who he's going up against.
mm,
Roman ain't really much to adapt to. I'm gonna basically say it like that. There ain't really much to adapt to when it comes to Roman.
damn.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that. But I will say that he did a lot more going up against Samoa Joe than what he did going up against Brock. And this even includes when him and Brock went up against each other in the cage. Um, you got to remember that before Joe got hurt, there was that whole storyline between him and Roman, and Joe was giving Roman his ass on a daily basis. Daily basis, Joe was giving Roman his ass. And the last time he won, which was for the Intercontinental title at the time, Joe. That's when we found out the next night or the next show that Joe was pretty much out hurt, and he ended up missing a whole lot of time. That's why Joe missed WrestleMania, because Joe was out hurt.
See, what they should do with Samoa Joe, since we're talking about that, we might as well like kind of dissect all the matches. We don't have to go in order, but but Samoa Joe, and for people that is probably wondering if did Samoa Joe actually win? No, he lost tonight to Roman Reigns, and this is what pisses me off about the WWE. See, WWE, you decided to put us asleep. Literally, I thought I was literally on this. I thought I was literally in a submission hold tonight. I was literally falling asleep. And it's really like 3 fucking hours. I thought I was watching fucking Raw 2.0. And I thought I was watching actually a pay-per-view. And this is with SmackDown and Raw combined together. And yet you motherfuckers still can't entertain motherfuckers. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why the fuck would you put Roman Reigns over? He was in the middle of a losing streak. What you could do is you could just seize the opportunity. Put Joe as a major fucking heel, like one of these people said in these comments, and then have Roman Reigns like continue to keep losing, and slowly go to the fucking dark side. But no, the WWE needs to have their special space. Say, no, we can't have him lose no more. He can lose to Brock, but he cannot lose to Samoa Joe. So, because of that, now we're back to square one. It was trash.
Basically. And to be quite honest, I'm glad you mentioned that, because there were more Raw matches than there were SmackDown.
No, I didn't notice that too.
The tag team match, all 4 Raw superstars. And even that kickoff match. Yeah, I mean the kickoff match, Raw superstars. Now the Intercontinental title. I mean, yes, that title is on Raw, and Miz is now on SmackDown. But the fact of the matter is, yet again, you have a Raw superstar go over. So basically, majority of this pay-per-view, Raw came out looking on top. Basically,
like the superior brand, right?
Exactly. SmackDown was looked to yet again be the B show,
right?
It's where that they need to. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said I was going to add on to who was the superior brand tonight. I mean, you could definitely look at, and there's one match that just, to me, I just could not deal with at all, and that's Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan. We knew who's the superior athlete in that match. But however, I'm trying to figure out like why in the fuck Daniel Bryan is in a feud with Big Cass. And Big Cass, I'm sorry, when I look at Big Cass, I'm looking at Tess from '99, okay? But Tess was a lot more better, but his promo skills was trash. But anyway, going back to Big Cass, like, he comes out there looking like a little bit of Diesel, a little bit of Tess, and it's just like, dude, we gonna be trash. Like, dead ass.
And I said it in the comments, and James just repeated it. Basically, for those that were looking at the kickoff show, Renee Young basically stated that Daniel Bryan in his career has went up against some of the best superstars that WWE has to offer. And then she said, and then the question she asked, how does Big Cass measure up to the people that Daniel Bryan has went up against in the past.
Mm-hmm.
In actuality, Big Cass does not measure up.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what this shows is that they're using Daniel Bryan as a learning tree for Big Cass. Basically, they're saying this is what we're gonna do for you. We got Daniel Bryan, who pretty much now has this carpenter type role, along with basically just basically he's a carpenter type veteran. Basically he'll take guys like Big Cass that are coming, he's coming back from injury. He's mainly been in a tag team to where his tag team partner did all the talking. His tag team partner did all the talking. So now it's where they gotta do something with Big Cass. They know they gotta friggin' not only work on his mic skills, they also gotta prep him to basically have matches on his own. He has to do matches on his own. He hasn't been able to do that because he's been out on a knee injury.
That is true.
So what better way to kind of basically mold him into a good big guy than to put him up against a great small guy, which is Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan has gone up against all shapes and sizes of superstars.
I wanted to answer or more so retort Danny's comment about the only reason why the reason why they're doing that is because they don't have Enzo anymore. See, the thing was they was gonna push Big Cass a long time ago. I mean, this was already in the making already. The thing is with Big Cass, I see problems. Number one is they said that he's good on the mic. I'm sorry, he's mediocre on the mic. Even when he was with Big Cass, like, he had these little nice lines here and there. But like, if you really put him by himself, can he really move a crowd? No, he cannot. Is he still green? Of course he is. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you can look at a wrestler. Yes, and I'm just a fan, but at the same time, I can look at a wrestler. I've been watching wrestling for a very long time. I can look at you and say that your ass is trash and you're not going to be anything. It's just like Roman Reigns. I look at you, you got a nice ass look, but like kind of down the line, can you actually move a crowd? No, you cannot. So that's why Big Cass to me is a problem.
I mean, it's and basically, Danny's pretty much repeating what I've already said. Enzo was the talker. Basically, Big Cass was the muscle. Enzo was the trash talker. Because as we all know, Enzo really wasn't that great in the ring. He really wasn't that great in the
ring. Yeah. Enzo was not that good in the ring. He was completely trash.
But Enzo could definitely murk you on the microphone. No matter what, this man could freaking go blow for blow with anybody on the microphone. Hence, that's what supposedly Big Cass was supposed to be for. But you got Big Cass, who was also green, who hasn't really been trained as a big guy. Because if you remember in the NXT days, they mainly had Enzo and Big Cass together. They never really had it where they had them separate first and then they brought them together. They were always together. They were never separate to basically come up with their own gimmicks.
Right.
So it's very hard for someone like Cass to basically now try to find himself. That's basically what he's trying to do now, which that's what should have happened in NXT.
Exactly.
He should have been in NXT trying to find his gimmick.
And that's what NXT is for. NXT is to develop your skills before you go to the main roster. But for some reason, they paired these two together, while they was in NXT, when they went to the main roster. So now Big Cass is trying to find himself with Daniel Bryan. I mean, I get it. Daniel Bryan is a good teacher. Don't get me wrong. This man was trained by Shawn Michaels. But at the same time, like, dude, this is years. That could have been like, okay, he was already by himself, so he got a little bit of, singles experience, tag team experience. So okay, let's just push him to the moon. Now it's like now they gotta teach him, and then on top of that, he just came back from injury. So now that's more time that Daniel Bryan probably gonna spend with him. And I'm saying like this whole feud is probably gonna last for like probably 6 months. And that's unfortunate because I really want like Daniel Bryan to be fighting somebody like AJ. That would be, dude. I'm waiting on that shit. I'm waiting on them to go in the ring, but instead he with this green motherfucker, this green giant, Big Cass. But I digress. Let's move on to some other matches. What other match was on there? I forgot. That tag team match. Yeah, matter of fact, let's talk about that shit. Shit. Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley versus
Braun Strowman.
And what's this?
Sami
and KO. Okay. KO and Sami Zayn needs to break the fuck up. Just break up already. It's time. Like I love them two. Them two are comedians on the mic. They are some assholes. I love them, but it's time for them to split the fuck up. It's time for them to go.
I think that's what they're getting ready to do. They're kind of taking it slow, but I think that's what they're going to end up doing. I guess whenever you go back and look at the pay-per-view and see that match, they're slowly building. They're slowly starting to take them apart, because it was where that there were times. No, there wasn't. It was where that basically Sammy served KO up to the wolves, and called it a day. Sammy did take some moves, but not a lot. Pretty much KO took the brunt of that entire match. They're pretty much gonna be building, up to a point where they split them apart. The answer to kind of go what Eric was talking about with Big Cass, because this is what kind of pisses me off about some fans. You'll defend one superstar, basically say, well, at least he's trying this, that, and the other. But then you'll turn around and talk shit about another superstar and all this other stuff. Case in point, Eric, you defended Big Cass, want to sit here and say he's trying and all this other stuff, which that's me and Chris aren't sitting here bashing Big Cass. We know that they're sitting here trying to work with him. What we said was it's kind of too late to be working with him, but we understand that's what WWE is doing. We get that. But for you to turn around and basically say, "Oh well, Bobby Lashley is shit trash." Not to be funny, if you didn't see Bobby Lashley when he first came into WWE, something is wrong with you.
Yeah, because Bobby
Lashley now. This Bobby Lashley now versus that one is 10 times better.
Yeah, because this Bobby
Jordan
2018, this man is sloppy as fuck. I mean, like seriously, this man can. I'd rather him do the Dominator instead of doing the Brain Buster, the inverted Brain Buster, because like dude can't hold nobody up in the air. The man is stiff. The man is like, look, I love Bobby Lashley. Don't get me wrong. No, I take that back. I don't really care for Bobby Lashley like that. I'm just like, just doing this shit just to entertain you guys, whatever. Just kind of, I need to be real about this shit. Okay, Bobby Lashley right now currently is trash. Okay, now when he was in the WWE, like maybe in 2005, 2006, he was awesome. He had momentum to be WWE champion, but he was sidelined because of John Cena. We're not going to get into that story right now, but going back to Bobby Lashley, and somebody just said this too. Bobby Lashley is being treated as a sidekick for Braun Strowman. That is correct. I feel that way. I feel that way as well. Bobby Lashley is going to be one of them ones where he's going to be lost in the shuffle, and they're not going to do shit with him.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, he's going to be a Titus O'Neil, and he's going to be a Apollo Crews. That's going to be some irrelevant bitches. That's all. That's all the WWE treating them. Side bitches.
As much as now, one thing I will disagree with Chris. I don't really see Bobby as being stiff. Braun's a little stiff. Depending on what Braun does. Bobby, on the other hand, is being a little unsafe. I understand you want to show your strength and everything. I get that. But there's a time and a place to when you want to show off and do the whole one hand gesture to get the fans behind you. When you sit here and have someone of Kevin Owens' size up like that, which if you kind of go into Kevin Owens' background when he in his time of being in NXT and WWE, there hasn't really been too many people that have done that to Kevin Owens. So I can't really say for sure that Kevin Owens knows how to properly support his own weight while being up in the air that high for that long, while you decide you want to have one hand off Kevin to try to get the crowd behind you. No, sir. That's unsafe. I do not concur with that type move.
Because Bobby Lashley tried that shit at the and
almost dropped
the Royal Rumble with Big Cass. Big Cass is 7 foot and like probably 300 pounds plus. Nigga, you know that you can't lift that man up like that. Even though Bobby Lashley's strong in the motherfucker, I'm not knocking him off for his prowess or his strength. But at the same time, you have to agree with me when I say this shit. Bobby Lashley is like very sloppy in the ring. Since this man has been back, this man has been doing some sloppy shit. And I'm like, and some of the spots he's been doing has been kind of questionable or whatever. But that's why I said, you know, we're gonna kind of have to disagree. Yeah, his finisher is like
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's like a brain buster. It's like an inverted brain buster. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know that he gonna hurt somebody. That's one. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know.
Jordan, understand something. The fact of the matter is, you have to take care of each other. Mm-hmm. You want to sit here and say it's Big Cass. You want to sit here and say it's Big Cass' fault. Here's my thing. If you have a guy who's not used to being held up in the air like that, right, you, as the person that's holding them, have to be able to weigh out the give and take. Exactly. If you're going to snatch them up, fine. Snatch them up, hold them up for like 2 seconds, then drop. Don't sit here and try to be all He-Man and I'm going to get the fans behind me. No, okay? That's unsafe. It's not needed. It's where it's like Chris said, a lot of the stuff he's doing right now is sloppy and it's unsafe. And I agree. But the fact of the matter is, y'all can't, I know you have your favorites that you like, that you dislike, but the fact of the matter is, it's still a give and take type business. You got, if I'm gonna give you this, you gotta be able to take it. But at that same time, I need to be taking care of you. If I'm Bobby Lashley and I got somebody up in the air, I have to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves if I got them up in the air like this.
Exactly.
So you want to sit here and say it's Big Cass' fault? No, the fuck it's not, because you can't do anything when someone's holding you up in the air like this. You just got to do what you can to try to keep your body as still as possible. So you, sir, can sit down and shut the hell up. And another thing, quit y'all seriously need to stop bashing Nia. Because the fact of the matter is, if you saw her in NXT versus how she is now, it's a big improvement. NXT, she would get winded. She'd be good for about 5-6 minutes in a match when she was in NXT. 5, 6, 8, probably 9 minutes. 5 to 9 minutes. She'd be good, but then after that, that's pretty much it.
Nia Jax.
How she is now,
I was gonna say something about Bobby Lashley. Okay, yes. Going back to Melissa's comment, Melissa said she hit this head on. She said a wrestler has to know where he is at all times in the ring and has to know where his opponent is at all times. She is absolutely correct because first of all, it takes two. It takes two to make a move, not one person. So when you sitting there and you dangling him in the air and he falls a certain way, case in point, D'Lo Brown versus Drops. The man is paralyzed because he was sloppy in the fucking ring. That's why I say these things not to bash Bobby Lashley, even though some people say that he's trash. But when you do certain shit like that, it can be very dangerous and very deadly. That's why I'm saying, like, it's not to bash motherfuckers. It's just what I'm seeing in a ring, and I'm seeing this more than one time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not bashing him. It's just, you know, an observation. But no, going to Nia Jax. Nia Jax, to me, is better as a heel versus a face because that promo that she did today, like after she was done beating Bliss's ass, I'm sorry, but her promo sounded like the Me Too movement. I'm dead ass. Like, she sounded so fucking forced. It was not natural. You could tell that they was like, you know, they talk from the heart and shit, and they talk, and they, you know what I'm saying, like, and they're talking from a script. That's how this promo sounded. It didn't sound natural to me. I was talking to my best friend about this shit. I said, dude, I ain't feeling this promo. This promo just don't seem right. It's like she was talking like to the bully campaign or some type of shit. I don't know. I don't know wherever her reason is. I don't know. All I know is that shit sounded forced. Overall, that match trash.
I don't know either. I even agree with that promo at the end of the match wasn't even needed. Melissa, I agree. You don't bash when you're giving out facts, but the fact of the matter is make sure your facts are correct. Jordan, as far as what do we stand to gain from Nia, the thing is, Alexa has already proven that she can carry herself, not only as a single competitor, but also as a champion. She's proven that. So it's time for her to do something else. By giving Nia the title, she has to do the same thing. If they see that they're not going to get the same thing, if not better, from her that they got from Alexa, do believe me, you won't see that title on Nia much longer. My thing is this. Unless y'all follow certain wrestlers, follow to when they first get in to basically how they are now, you can't really say who's trash and who's not. So my thing is, when I'm sitting here talking about bashing somebody, make sure you're actually giving out facts. You're not just sitting here saying, oh, well, they're just trash. Some of these guys have shown improvement. Some of them have not. Case in point, Roman Reigns. No improvement. None. But it's where they haven't changed him. Now I'm going off what I've seen when he's hit the main roster. I didn't see how he was in NXT. From what I've heard from Chris and several others, he was a lot better in NXT than how he is now. So my thing is, why not get him away from his Shield gimmick, as I've stated multiple times before, get him away from his Shield gimmick, get him away from that, come up with some kind of injury or whatever, and just revamp him. It's not that hard.
It's not hard, but the WWE try to make it hard. And going back to Melissa had a question for us. She said, "What is our opinion about the Iconics?" To be honest with you, sweetheart, I really feel that the Iconics is basically another Bella Twins 2.0. They are copy paste hosts that's probably going to fuck around with John Cena next.
My personal opinion, I've said it already. The Iconics are a mixture of the Bellas, Lay Cool, and PMS all in one package. They just got a different they just got an accent this time.
What PMS? PMS was nothing but a bunch of prostitutes that was looking for the next dick.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Because the fact of the matter is this. And matter of fact, I'm going to address something in a minute about the Iconics. Here's my thing. I don't know how they were in NXT. I'm told they could wrestle, but majority of the time, from what I did see, here again, we have the same issue of where we have two wrestlers that have been together the entire time. They haven't been in singles competition yet. They have been together the entire damn time. So it's where if one gets hurt, what you gonna do with the other one? You're gonna be stuck like Chuck yet again. So now back to what I was gonna bring up. During Iconics, one of their yet again annoying promos, which I'll give them that. They work those heel promos. They're annoying as hell. Here's my thing, because I don't think that this was supposed to be part of their exit during the promo. Explain to me why, which I don't know their names, but explain to me why one of them kind of smacked David Ortunga in the forehead.
What do you mean by smack him in the forehead, like in a sexual tip, or like?
It wasn't a hard one, but she kind of just hit him in the forehead as she was leaving. So I'm just kind of like, okay, that was random.
What? But anyway, no. I really believe. See, when you touch a female on the forehead, well, no. Excuse me. When you touch a nigga on the forehead, do like that. That's basically saying, I'll meet up with you later. That type of shit.
And that's what it looked like. If you go and look at the kickoff, it was part of the kickoff. When the Iconics showed up, they did their whole thing. As they're leaving, the first girl that was in front, she kind of tapped him on the forehead as she was leaving. Mm-hmm. I'm like, did she think nobody noticed that?
No, she probably didn't. It was probably just a natural reflex. That's probably what it was.
But see, my thing is she hasn't done that to anybody else. She hasn't done that to any other male commentator that they've been around.
That's because she wants some black dick. That's what she wants. Now, I was waiting for it, Chris.
I'm
just, come on now.
Maybe like, you're gonna say it eventually.
David Ortunga he's not an ugly looking dude. Like, he's not. And then on top of that, the man is single. He broke up with,
exactly.
Come on now. Now, you already know that the bitch, her pussy is wet and she wants some black dick. That's what she wants. She's seen Love in New York. Come on now. Everybody's seen that shit. Come on now. Come on now. She was wet. And she wanted to go after some black dick here and there. So you know what I'm saying?
Of course. But I do want to point out, I think Ortunga he's either somewhere where there's a lot of sun, or he's been in that tanning bed a little bit too much. Because I'm kind of noticing he's looking kind of golden. He's looking a little roasted. Don't tell me you didn't notice.
Who did you say again?
Otunga. David
So
Otunga. He looked like he's kind of been. I think he's been in the tanning bed, or he's somewhere where there's a lot of sun, because he's looking a little golden. He's looking a little roasted a little bit.
you saying that this man looking like a golden biscuit? Because I heard he was
like
kind of golden, but that's none of my business.
He looks like a little honey glazed biscuit right now. That's how he looked in that kickoff show.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Let's go on to, it was another match that the WWE Championship, Shinsuke versus AJ Styles.
Oh my God. Oh.
That match was brutal.
I'm sorry. There have been matches where I have literally cringed while watching. There are a few matches where I've actually cringed while watching. And I'm sorry. This is one of those matches, because literally when both of them looked at each other and then kicked each other in the ding ding at the same damn time. Ooh. Ooh.
I really for those that I just hope that neither one of them were hard at the time, because that would have been tragic.
And then what kills me, everybody was like, oh, this is bullshit. I can't believe. Okay, I agree. I don't like the fact that they ended it this way. But I'm sorry, if two grown-ass men literally step back and then kick each other at the same time in the no-no place, I'm not getting up for a 10 count. I am down. That's it.
Yes, my black ass would have been on the ground too, writhing in pain and shit. Like, I would be on the ground like somebody just hit me with a whip. Like, so, I if you think I'm gonna get up for a 10 count and my balls just got like knocked into next year to 1985, like I just went in the DeLorean Back in the Future, bitch, I don't think so. I'm not getting the fuck up. Are you serious? And if you gonna say, and if you gonna sit up here and gonna say that, they should be the man and they should have got up for a 10 count, let me kick you in the damn balls. And matter of fact, hey, look here. Let me show you something real quick. Matter of fact, I got some steel-toe boots right here. So, if your ass want me to kick you right here in these boots right here that I paid for fucking $50, and if you think that your ass is gonna get up after you got kicked in the balls by these boots, nigga, please, I think you got a pussy in a clique. But that's none of my business. None of my business.
Now, what's next? What's next for these two? I have no damn clue, because it ended in a double countout. So, and this was a no DQ match. So I really don't know what's next for AJ and Nakamura. I really don't. I mean, you could probably, you could do a last man standing match. Yep.
Because
that's probably what's next. A last man standing match.
Because that chair, oh my God, like AJ Styles, what was it? What's Shinsuke's last? What's his finisher?
Shaza?
Something
like that.
But anyway, he tried to do that shit to AJ Styles, and AJ Styles threw that damn chair at Shinsuke's knee, so crucial, and then the shit ricocheted right off of Shinsuke's knee and went right in his face and cut him like completely open. I'm like, ooh.
Here's the problem that I tell. Here's the problem I tell people on a daily basis when they decide to open their mouth and say wrestling is fake. It's like, please understand, there ain't nothing fake about this business. Please understand, this is a dangerous business. This ain't like football. This ain't like hockey where we got padding and all this other stuff. No, sir. Fact of the matter is, there may be some padding like on like our shins or like our elbows or our knees, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. It's just us. Now, if it were me, I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have held on to the chair and then hit him in the knee as he was coming. Because to be quite honest, if you pay attention, 2 inches higher, AJ Styles would be blind in one eye.
He would. Dead ass. Because that, I'm serious,
2
that
inches
cut,
higher, you'd be blind.
that cut was nasty as fuck. It was one of them gashes where I wouldn't even want I probably would want my ass to be cut up like that. But anyway, but yeah, that was not fake, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and for the folks that always keep saying that, you know, wrestling is fake, I tell them, sit the fuck down. You don't know what the fuck you talk about. Shut the fuck up. Just because you've seen a documentary on fucking wrestling does not give you the go ahead to say, oh, wrestling is fake. You never seen this shit in a day of your life. Sit the fuck down. Have several seats. But anywho, they're gonna fight all the way to SummerSlam. And I mean, are we okay with the ending? Of course not. Both of them kicked each other in the fucking nuts, and they didn't get up. Well, they was in pain. I wouldn't get up either. But you know, this match is going to. I mean, their feud is going to go all the way, probably past SummerSlam, and I can't wait because like the match was brutal.
Agreed.
We kind of knew after WrestleMania that their feud is going to go to another level. And that's basically what it's going to do.
Okay.
It's going to go up to another level, going to go up to another level, to another level, to another level. I can't wait.
Al, which he just brought something he just brought up. Sami Callihan broke Edwards' orbital socket because he swung a bat. He swung a bat wrong. To be quite honest, you're not swinging a bat at my head to begin with. Period.
First of all,
You ain't swinging a bat at my fucking head. No, thank you.
Why niggas swinging bats?
I know what match he's talking about, but I didn't see it, but I heard about it. And I said, I'm saying the same thing now I said then. I love this business. I love this sport. But I will say no in a heartbeat to anything that I'm not okay with. And I refuse to have a metal bat swung at my damn head. No, thank you, because you can easily, as he just pointed out,
Body, yeah.
It fucked up.
Now, the only time that you could probably use a bat is WWE 2K18. Save it for the fucking video games. Don't do that shit in real life. Dead ass. What other? Did you have anything else about the WWE Championship?
I kind of not really about the WWE Championship. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, this feud is going to go on for a while, and I know AJ and Shinsuke are going to make it entertaining the entire way. I have no doubts that their match is always going to be entertaining and brutal. But I'm gonna say a little prayer for AJ, because, like I said, 2 inches higher, AJ would be blind. And I'm sorry, that scared the shit out of me when that chair bounced back and hit him in his face. And when they showed where the cut was, like I said, it was right there on that cheekbone. Right there on the cheekbone.
Right here.
And
that did not look like one. It looked like them, like, you know, them cat scratches or whatever. Now it looked like a gash, like right here. I mean, it was,
yep.
And you can see how it ricocheted, like right off of his face, like off of, like, you know, Shinsuke's knee to AJ's face, and it was nasty. It was, oh Jesus, oh. Now, am I going to watch this review again? Hell no. I'm not that trash no more. Nope.
Bailey and Ruby Riot's match. I don't know what they got in line for Ruby, but to be quite honest, I want them to hurry up and have her on her own because I know she's a great talent. I did see her stuff in NXT, and I was impressed. I was impressed with her in NXT. So I can't wait to see her break off from the Riot Squad and do her own thing.
Why really is the Riot Squad even together anyway?
I really don't know. I mean, honestly, I think it's where they don't have anything for them. That's what I keep saying. They have all these women and they're all for this women's revolution thing, but I think they're running out of ideas on what to do with the women's division. I honestly think so. Matt, what about that bump AJ took when he bounced off the ropes face first? Oof.
So the friends of her. And we found others just like us.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
Al, man, I'm telling you, like I said, this is a dangerous sport. If you're in it, great. Just all I can say is be careful. Corey Krause, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name. Welcome to the business. Take care of yourself. Yes, wrestling does tear up your body. I will definitely agree with you and concur with you 100% with that comment. It does tear up your body. Right now, I kind of got like a compression sleeve on my knee because my knee is bothering me, and I hit my shin on the end of the ring last night, so my shin is basically bothering the fuck out of me. So, I don't have my match put up yet on YouTube or anything, but when it's up, I'll make sure to share it in the WCC group so you guys can take a look at it. I don't know if anybody has seen the live video I did, but this is my new tag team title.
Oh, wow.
I currently share with my tag team partner, with G Smooth, that we won on Saturday night. So, woo. But I really want to see. I understand that they're still trying to figure out what to do with the Divas, but they really need to figure out something. If they're gonna do a tag team type deal, fine. Go ahead and start up a tag team division and let's get this thing cracking. If not, some of these people need to be broken up and put on their own path in singles competition. I have no worries about Ruby Riot. Not Liv Morgan, the other girl. Honestly, Jordan, I'll tell you like I tell everybody else, WWE is not my dream because I am 37 years old and I am enjoying what I'm doing on the independent scene. I want to travel some more, but I got to make sure it works in with my family and my job. WWE ain't for everybody, but for the people that I do know that have made it to WWE or they're over in Japan or traveling internationally, you can ask them. I support them any which way I can, and I always wish them the best of luck. My friend Asia Pereira, she's actually coming back from Japan, and she's been killing it up in Japan. My other friend, Curry, aka Zombie Dragon, he is now in China, but he's going to be living in China from now on, and basically America is going to be his international bookings. So I wish them best. I wish them both the best of luck in everything they do.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me address somebody real quick. Man, all right. Man, please do not criticize other callers because he asks, Sea Dog that is wrestling his job. You do not know what he do outside of wrestling. You don't know. People might do this shit for for full time, part time, or whatever. That's not that. Anyway, I think that's it for Backlash. So what we'll do is we'll go to fan reaction, take a couple of calls, whatever. It's late as fuck. I can't believe we're still up at 1:52 in the morning. We love you guys for staying up this long with us. So D-Dog, I'll see you in a couple minutes. I'm just gonna take some calls and then we can go ahead and go to sleep. All right, man. All right, everybody. So for the first timers that's coming on to hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, this is fan reaction, which I will give you 5 to 6 minutes to speak your mind about tonight's Backlash pay-per-view. For the folks that are listening to this podcast on YouTube, you can follow us. My name is Chris Dilworth, aka Mr. Team Briggy. You can follow me at Chris Dilworth, Facebook.com, or Mr. C-Dog Collins, aka Matt Collins, at Facebook.com. Any questions or concerns, leave them down below at the comment screen, and I will be happy to take your guys' calls right now. So go ahead, send me a request, and we're gonna get this shit kicked off. All right. All right, Corey, I'm gonna get you in 1 second. Let me go and get my time. All right, Corey. I am you, man.
What's up,
hey, Corey,
man? How's it going?
How you doing, brother? Is this your first time on the show?
Actually, yeah. I saw it on Facebook and I wanted to join the conversation.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
I didn't watch Backlash because I'm dealing with some personal problems, but there's a couple things I overheard with the conversation with you and the previous guy on the live.
Okay.
And yeah,
where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida.
Florida. Okay, awesome. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a couple things I saw on the chat about, like, if is wrestling your job? Well, it really depends on the person, but getting started to become a pro wrestler, you gotta have 2 or 3 jobs. It's not easy. The expenses to even become a wrestler is ridiculous. You're spending more money on this sport to become a professional than if you wanted to become a football player at a young age. It's not easy. It's wear and tear on the body, and you know. I mean,
and you're in the business yourself, correct?
Yes, I am training under Francisco Chiazzo and Matt Seidel, who was formerly known as Evan Bourne.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you right now, Evan Bourne barely has any what's it called? Motion in his left shoulder. His shoulder's messed up. But
really,
work, yeah. That's why when we train with him, he doesn't really do much in the ring. He shows us what to do, but he doesn't take any bumps because he's saving his bumps for Ring of Honor or TNA and all that other stuff. I mean, he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong.
So he's currently wrestling and he's injured, like his His arm is injured?
Yeah, his left shoulder. He's been having a bad
Oh,
left. He could barely lift his shoulder up this high, his arm up this high
oh
when he stretches.
wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate because Evan Bourne was actually he was kick ass when he was in the WWE.
Oh yeah. He loved his journey. He loved it. He's been to Japan, TNA, and he's a really cool guy. And he's traveling all over, like to Peru, Puerto Rico, and really awesome guy. But the business part, um, it's hard.
Yeah, you can have me,
It's
Melissa.
really hard.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions. Okay, so how long have you been watching wrestling?
I've been watching wrestling since I was 7 years old. I'm 25 years old now.
Oh, okay, so you a youngster. Okay. So let me ask you this. In the current state of the WWE, where versus like maybe 20 years ago, do you think that they're headed in the right direction, or do you think they're like a stale product that's slowly dying, like it's a dying breed? I mean, what do you think?
The fans are starting to get smarter. They're starting to see the storyline 3 or 4 months ahead. They're predicting what's going to happen, and it happens. I think, honestly, the independence and New Japan wrestling is evolving there. As for WWE, they have a lot of potential. Some of the storylines don't make sense to me personally. I think what they should do with the AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura is have them make their own storyline like they did in Japan, because you'll get a much more interesting storyline. You don't know what will happen. Like this Shinsuke Nakamura being heel, I like it. I just don't like the low blows. To me, the low blows are just that was used by Ric Flair years ago, and it got over back then. It won't get over now.
So do you think?
I was there for the WWN More Than Mania week, and I got tickets to WrestleMania. And when I saw that low blow, when I was there with my crew, we did not like that at all. We didn't like that spot. He could have done multiple things to get over as a heel, but that low blow and the cheap shots he took, they weren't strong shots. They were weak. They were just like little taps. But you got to tell the story with your body, and WWE's kind of just holding people back. But it's because it's a family business. It's family oriented. So that's why, like, independence, you got bar shows, you got some family shows and mall shows, outside shows. So anything can go. You don't know what happens.
Okay, so let me, Melissa, thank you for bringing that up. So Melissa said that I have to ask everybody's take on Chris Jericho on his return to Japan. She said, I mean, his weight gain and everything else. Okay, so talking about Chris Jericho, do you think Chris Jericho, in your personal opinion, is getting tired of the WWE and like trying to weigh his options on going to, to other, wrestling companies? Because it seems to me by him going to New Japan, it seems like he's having more fun than he has had in like years. So do you think that this is a good move, or do you think that this is like this is a problem, in the WWE's eyes, where he's about to veer off to another company, possibly for good?
The Chris Jericho we're all seeing now in New Japan is the Chris Jericho when he first started. Chris Jericho is what you call a super heel. And in WWE, he has to follow what WWE wants. He doesn't want what Chris Jericho. They didn't want what Chris Jericho wants. And you're gonna get more out of Chris Jericho if he does his own thing. Like, for example, you look at Matt Hardy. As he was teaming with his brother Jeff, and when they went to singles, they didn't get over. But when Broken Matt Hardy came out.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hardy now all of a sudden is big. And now that he won his legal suit to get the Woken Matt Hardy in WWE, look how over he got now. Teaming him with Bray Wyatt was probably the best thing they could have done in the tag team division. I would like to see them against the Usos. That would be interesting to me.
Ooh, that is interesting. Yeah. So do you think personally, I'm gonna ask you just one last question, then I'm gonna go to the next caller. But yeah, I like you. You're wow. Do you think that Matt Hardy was more over in TNA versus in the WWE?
When he became the broken Matt Hardy, yes. And he went heel, yes. I think it won't. I think within the next 6 months to a year, he'll become a heel. And when he becomes a heel, feud him with Jeff Hardy and then have Brother Nero come out.
But Corey, we already seen this before, though. Already.
True.
I mean, it's like we're going back in time again, like going back to TNA.
Right.
So I mean, do you think they're
down.
working in the WWE?
TNA shut down, and they didn't go as far in TNA than they would in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, TNA shut down because of money. So where they wanted to go with those characters, they were forced to stop because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
So they went back to WWE, and now they're trying to get back over with their new characters. I think Jeff Hardy, even if he stays as just Jeff Hardy, he'll be fine. Keep him as U.S. champion. I like it. Maybe later on, put him in the WWE title run. Give him so many false, get the fans some hope that he's going to win the title, then lose all the time, and then all of a sudden win the title like they did years ago. I liked him as champion. That's just me. A small guy taking on bigger guys and just out wrestling them the whole time. Beating them by out wrestling, speed, high flying.
Wow. Okay. Well, I wish I could ask you more questions, but we're gonna have to do this on a later podcast. Definitely. I'm gonna have to me and you gonna have to get together, and you probably gonna have to come on the show as a special guest, but probably shoot me a friend request if you could.
I will.
You get some time. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I will see you around, bro. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Everybody, let's go on to the next caller. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, Mr. Al, my boy Al. Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Al. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I can't really get into the Backlash show like that. I'm gonna just say you was right when you said it wasn't really gonna be a good show. I tried to look at it objectively, and I guess it's like Matt was talking about earlier. It was just basically closing storylines and hopefully opening up new lines to better storylines going forward, and maybe Money in the Bank. They got to show out for Money in the Bank at this point. Like, they have no choice.
Right.
After giving us basically 2 pay-per-views that were irrelevant and 1 pay-per-view that had some relevant moments, Money in the Bank, they got to show out for us. We got to have a Money in the Bank point. I don't know if they're going to do that or if they're going to try to do, 3 guys for Raw, 3 guys for SmackDown, and the winner gets whatever title. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm hoping at this point they show out for Money in the Bank. And y'all was speaking on Bobby Lashley earlier, and it kind of breaks my heart that they doing the dude like this, man. Like, you brought this dude in the the next guy or one of the top main eventers in your company, and essentially you made him a sidekick. And Mac definitely can speak to this much more than I ever can, but he just doesn't look comfortable in the ring. It looks like
Yes. That,
like if you watch his Impact matches, they're more structured. They look better. They look more put together. When he's in the ring, it's just like, okay, I'm out here
he
to
looks out
do a
of
couple
place.
power moves.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, he looks out of place, and that's so weird because it's like the Impact version of Bobby Lashley is completely different from the guy like that we're watching right now. You know what I mean? And I don't understand why that is personally. Oh, sorry. I don't understand why that is personally,
Mhm.
other than he's just trying to find his footing. He's trying to really just find it. He will um somewhere with a nice feud with somebody who he could work with and kind of, maybe a lighter guy so he could kind of influence the power moves. Because I think a match between him and Strowman just doesn't make sense. Because if them two are in the ring together, like Strowman's developed a lot more overall, but he still got some work to do. And seeing those two in the ring together, right, a particularly good option. You know what I mean? I think them two together should that shouldn't happen right now. He should, like Elias or maybe somebody like that. I think it'll be a better matchup for him overall. But I just hate it for him because, like I said, if they going to give him Lesnar at some point, would you want to see that match right now? Would that be something you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see it? Because if Brock Lesnar is not giving us a good match and Bobby Lashley is not giving us good matches, it's gonna be a train wreck. It's Goldberg versus Lesnar, the first one, all over again.
Exactly.
You know
And
what
yeah,
I'm
a very good point about Bobby Lashley is looking very uncomfortable in the ring. I have stated that on our Thursday show that something about Bobby Lashley is just like I don't know. It's like I don't know what the fuck it is, but you know as well as I do that when you go to the main roster, I don't care if you came from 205 or you came from NXT, as soon as you go to that main roster, the shit you was doing on NXT and 205, you won't be doing on the main roster. So they
That's
have
facts.
you like limited. And that's what pisses me off about
Right.
WWE because they say that they are family orientated type of show, so they don't want people to do like a whole bunch of high risk moves or moves that might cripple folks or whatever. I said, but this is the business that they are in. They are aware of the risks. You know what I'm saying? If they
Right.
wasn't, then they wouldn't be doing half the shit that they be doing. You know what I'm saying? And as the fans, we understand that shit. But the WWE wants to go by like, what I'm saying, they have to answer to the stop brokers and all this shit. But the stockbrokers are not the ones that are watching fucking wrestling. You know what I'm saying? When you limit the fucking wrestler, you limit the match. When you limit the match itself, it's going to be fucking trash. And that's why, like
Exactly.
right now, I mean, like tonight, it was. I agree with you, bro, 100%. Like it was painful to see him wrestle tonight, dude. Like seriously.
Right. It was bad. And like I'm saying, think about this. When WWE puts on their best matches, it's the matches that they don't water down. Like, think about it. John Cena and AJ Styles, they're programmed together. Kevin Owens and John Cena, they're programmed together. Hell, going back to I'm trying to think of a non-John Cena. Basically, most of John Cena's matches when they actually let the other guy go
Mm-hmm.
and do his full complete move set,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to be the best matches on the card. Another John Cena match, Seth Rollins, John Cena, SummerSlam for the United States title. I think it was SummerSlam for the United States title. Think all those matches were perfect. It was like they allowed these guys to do whatever it took to win the match, and it was believable. It suspended my disbelief. It made me believe, like, oh my God, like there's gonna be no winner of this match. When you limit guys to those quote unquote 5 moves of doom, you essentially remove any ability for them to suspend that disbelief, because it's like, even when I was watching that Seth Rollins Miz match tonight, they kind of did some other stuff. When he did the fake schoolboy and he rolled him up and Miz sat down on all fours so he could give him the curve stomp, I'm like, okay, where is this? Where are the dynamic counters that make you think, okay, this is not the end, or this is the end? Now it's just like, I can pretty much predict the end, and I don't like that. And even with AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura tonight, some people were still saying that match was bad. That match was great. We didn't like the finish.
Right, yeah, because they started out slow, but then it started picking up in intensity. So, fans are like really very impatient. They want to, get into it like real quick or whatever. And then sometimes you gotta let the match kind of build up until when it get to that point where they're going to start, like, it's going to start picking up, then motherfuckers going to say, oh yeah, this was a really good match. Just like with Miz versus Seth Rollins. That was a slow, but it started picking up. It started getting good. That was actually the match of the fucking night. And then, the WWE title was the second best match of the night. It was only 2 matches that was actually good.
2 matches.
2, yeah. So,
but think about this too. They're also not using a bunch of their quote unquote finishers. So the more dynamic part going forward is, at some point they can play that into another match. So you also can still have the suspension of disbelief, because granted, and we've seen a bunch of people kick out of Styles Clash, but not recently. You know what I'm saying? So if you see that, it's gonna make you pop. If AJ kicks out of the Kinshasa, it's gonna make you pop. So there's still room for improvement in their matches. And yes, the low blows they're getting kind of crazy or whatever. Like, at some point they're gonna like take a steel chair and go up there. But I'm just saying, like, they still left room for their quote unquote finishers. We all know now finishers are basically transitional moves, but they left room for that. And to me, that's the most important part. We want to see more going forward, and we can, because they made sure to protect certain things. And I think a lot of times fans get lost in that.
Let me ask you this, because that's a very good point. The Roman Reigns situation with Brock Lesnar. You said something about finishers. Everybody know that when you get hit with the F5, you're not getting back up. So now here comes Roman or whatever, and he's hitting him with 5 spears, and Brock Lesnar's kicking out. He's kicking out. Brock Lesnar hit Roman Reigns with 5, 6 F5s, and Roman keeps kicking out. I mean, do you think that this? And, before I even go on to that, and then tonight, Roman hits Joe with 2 spears, and then it's over. So, do you think that by them squashing Joe, do you think that this hurts Joe's momentum? Because this man said that he was going to beat Roman, he was going to put him to sleep. And now he got beat by Roman Reigns, and now he's going to SmackDown, and now he got to find some type of momentum. Because to be really honest with you, if there's one person that needed this match, that needed this win, they talking about Roman needed this win. Roman gets every fucking title shot every fucking month. So it wasn't really all about, like, Roman per se, because he's like literally the transitional face in the company. But then Joe going over to SmackDown, who the fuck is he gonna feud with?
That's a good question. I think Joe is a good enough talker where he can get himself out of that hole pretty easily. It's kind of like The Miz. Like The Miz, he loses some matches that he should win, and essentially by his promos, he digs himself right out of that hole, and it's like, okay, yeah, he lost, but we don't care because we know, the next guy he can potentially take out just like that and prove his point.
Right.
I think to me for Roman, I'm just, as a Roman fan, I'm like extra frustrated at this point because one, Joe should have went over. Me and Matt had talked about it a bunch of times. Like I was commenting while he was talking about it, but Roman should have got a false injury tonight and should have been taken out. They had several spots with the arm spot. He could have ripped that thing out or pretended to rip that thing out
Right.
and made it look so believable that you just like, okay, Roman's going to be gone for a while. Whatever it took to get to that point, they could have did it tonight. And they early,
They failed.
I was like, okay, it's right there. And then when you get the choke out of Roman, essentially, I thought it was over. He did a really good job of making me believe that he got choked out with the rolling in the eyes or the back of the head and everything. And I'm like, okay, if Roman continues to lose, like you said earlier, you start the slow burn towards this heel turn. Now that Roman defeated Joe, this hurts Roman more than it hurts Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's gonna be fine. He's gonna find his way on SmackDown, but it hurts Roman because now you put him right back at the top of the card where nobody. I'm sorry, if you listen to that match tonight, the fans audibly booed it. Like while it was going on, they're sick of seeing Roman Reigns. Period. No matter who he faces, because Joe is significantly more over, and Brock is over, and nobody cared. They booted out of the building. So instead of playing an angle where, okay, we're finally going to start to bury Roman, make it seem like it's over, and we're going to push him down the card, they did the opposite. They pushed him right back at the top. And who's at the top? That one, you can't do the Lesnar thing again. There's no way you could get away with the Lesnar thing again at this point. You can't put him against Strowman again because Strowman's too hot. The only thing I could see that would help both guys at the same time, and it's not going to be the popular opinion, but get him and Lashley together somehow.
So do you
I know
think
that's not going to be a pop?
So let me ask you this. With that being said, who do you think will be the next person to take Brock's title? Now, seeing that Roman is failing to beat Brock Lesnar, who do you think will be the next person to take that belt off of Brock Lesnar? Because right now Brock Lesnar is like really hot right now, like as the champion, like he is literally the champion to beat. And it's like, if Roman can't do it, like, who will be next?
I mean, honestly, the only person I honestly could see doing it with the momentum that they have is Strowman. Like, you can't really take Rollins out of his spot, and you can't really boost anybody up there believably right now that you can say, okay, I want to see this person beat Brock Lesnar. At this point, it's got to be Strowman. At some point, they just got to get it out the way. And he's been a wrecking ball forever. And I don't know if this tag thing is to, like, elongate the push that they're trying to have for him. But if he's going to wrestle somebody at Money in the Bank, nobody else makes sense. You can't push nobody that fast over the next, we got 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, before that happens.
Yeah, about 3 or 4.
You can't. So Strowman needs to come out. He needs to have a hot promo on Raw, which it won't happen. They'll probably put him in another tag match. He needs to have a hot promo on Raw, claim the title that is his, and go and face Brock Lesnar and win it off him at Money in the Bank. If Brock survives past Money in the Bank, I have no idea who's going to beat him. Because to me, at this point, they're dragging it out. They're like the thing that made a lot of people turn on CM Punk initially during his title run. Well, one was the horrible booking of the people he was facing, but the other part was it was just too long. It was like, yo, okay, we get it. Like, you're that guy, you're that dude, but we want to see something else. And at this point, the same Brock Lesnar has the same exact problem. He's had that title for so long, and he's had that match style for so long that if somebody doesn't get that belt off of him soon, nobody's gonna care. And that's the worst part. Nobody, when you boo a chair, at least the WWE will be like, okay, we can keep this going. But when we're just in the stands, like we're watching 205 Live or something like that, at that point, nobody, like, you have to take that belt off that man. And remember, his whole, well, they said it was a work, but his whole reason for beefing with Vince after the Roman match was because of his fan reaction. You think that's going to dramatically change? It's not going to dramatically change because you have a new opponent. The reason they didn't audibly cheer you until the end of the match was because they're tired of you too. They just don't express it the way they express it for Roman. Roman at least gets the boos. He at least gets the Roman sucks and all this. Lesnar, it's like,
I don't give a damn. Right.
yeah, it's crickets at this point. And that man, and the sad part is, Brock Lesnar can actually wrestle. We've seen matches versus Kurt Angle. We've seen matches versus Eddie Guerrero where that man put on a classic match.
Put on the
and they refuse it.
Put on the.
Yeah, they refuse to change. They refuse to change his match style. And it's like, yo, I'm sorry. I don't want to see 15 suplexes and an F5. At this point, he don't even do a front suplex anymore. It's all Germans. And one over the head, belly to belly. No T-bones, no rolling Germans, no nothing. Like, it's just German. F5, and it's like, bro, we know you can do more moves than that. And to wrap this whole thing up, because I know there's probably other people on, but to wrap it up, I just think at this point, to save Bobby Lashley, he needs an indefinite feud with a smaller guy, maybe like a Bobby Roode type size, and this guy has to be a good technical wrestler. And if he gets that, they can save him. If not, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be car crash matches that doesn't make sense to the fans, and he'll be phased out, and we'll all be sitting here like, why'd you bring him back in the first place? You know what I mean?
Well, with that being said, my nigga, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I will talk to you.
No problem.
Have a good night, bro.
All right, you too.
A lot of great responses. So does anybody else want to come on? Because I do got time. Well, it's like 2:30 my time right now, and it's like 3:30 on the East Coast. I guess we're gonna end the show now because I would take more callers, but it's 2:30 and I'm trying to go to sleep. So I'm going to end it with my co-host. I'm gonna bring him on real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and end the show. So awesome responses, everybody. Remember to share. Get the word out about hashtag Heels for Life. For the people that is joining us for the very first time, we do these podcast shows on my personal page, on this page right now, on my Chris Dilworth page. And we do this every Thursday at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So we talk about different topics every week. We talk about Raw, we talk about SmackDown, we talk about New Japan Wrestling, talk about some indie shows, whatever, if it does come up in conversation. So we do talk about other shit other than, you know, the WWE. So like any like late breaking news or whatever we do talk about on the podcast. So I just want to let everybody know that for the people that's coming in for the very first time. I'm gonna let Keenan come in. He'll be my last caller, and then we'll end the show. Well, Melissa, no, we're not that type of show. We don't discriminate, men, female, or whatever. If you're not into wrestling, like if you're not like one of those fans that just now seeing wrestling, you know, have like a lot of wrestling knowledge. I'm not one of those podcasters where I will like, you know, slam you because you don't know certain shit. I'm not like really one of them trolls. I'm not. But I do want, like, you know, saying my followers to know have some type of facts instead of like saying fictional shit. That's the only thing that I hate about some of the people that I talk to, because some of them, they be like, you know, well, Roman Reigns is the best, you know, thing that ever happened to the WWE, but they don't have facts to back this shit up. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna say something that's like, you know, if you got something to back up your facts, okay, let's talk about it instead of just saying some one-worded fucking taglines that they said about fucking John Cena, but the shit they can't even back the shit up. So that's how we work on hashtag Tales for Life. So yes, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate you for participating tonight. So hopefully I'll have you come on as a guest, hopefully. All right, Keenan, I am trying to get you on, but I do not know what's going on. Oh, there he is. Okay. Well, first of all,
the Diva has arrived, bitches.
all right, so tell us the tea. How did you feel about tonight's Backlash on your birthday? I know that was kind of like a pay for you to see a tragic ass pay-per-view on your birthday.
Oh, trust me, it was all that and then some. For overall pay-per-view, I would say a 7.5 out of 10. But there was, like, you know, a few moments that, you know, that actually, you know, caught me off guard, you know. I did not expect, like, you know, I did not expect to have Shinsuke and AJ end in like a double count out and not get up because of what happened with between those two kicking each other in the balls.
I mean, like
Come on, people.
Somebody kicking you in the balls. You don't have a clit. You have a dick, you have balls. When you get kicked in the bitch or whatever, and your dick just got kicked right back in the damn dirt, you're not exactly get up for a 10 count.
True that. So I'm eager to see what's going to happen on Tuesday now on SmackDown, being that, you know, what's going to happen between Shinsuke and AJ now. Like, you know, is this feud over, or is this going to keep going, or is someone else going to come after the WWE Championship? Who knows? Who knows?
Keep going for probably the next couple of months. This is not going to go.
I would say yeah, because, like, you know, this whole feud between AJ and Shinsuke, you know, is really bringing in the money. That's what I think. Is really bringing in the money. It is. And another thing, okay, even though you hate Carmella, I am proud of her for not cheating and using complete strategy to beat Charlotte tonight and not use the Iconics to, like, you know, to help her win.
Well, it's not that I hate Carmella. I just think that she's trash in the ring. I just feel that she's not a credible WWE Women's Champion, even though she did get the big win over Charlotte. But Charlotte,
yeah, she did.
As my co-host said, got nerfed tonight. Like Thanos got nerfed on Avengers. I hate to go off topic, but we're talking about nerfing. You know, Charlotte got a move set that is out of this world, and she can like destroy people just like that. We have seen
Oh
Let's
yeah.
look at the Oscar match, the Oscar versus Charlotte match, and Charlotte versus Carmella. There's a huge difference between those
Oh
matches.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what I said. The bitch got nerfed.
She did. And another thing, for another bitch who got nerfed. Well, what about the matter? Like, this is what she get from running her mouth, and this is the tea. After Backlash, after her match with Nia, Alexa have a little shoulder injury on her left shoulder, so she's going in tomorrow for a little medical evaluation to check on her little shoulder. But here's the thing for me. This is what her ass gets for talking so much shit about Nia. She should run her mouth, and then she should get her ass hurt. Just going up against a big girl like Nia, come on. You know you're going to get your ass whooped. I'm sorry, but you will.
We know that on paper that Bliss is no match for Nia Jax. We
Exactly. Know. She is not. I mean, I was just sitting back and just waiting for Nia to just kick Alexa's ass.
Even
and of course, she did it again for the second time.
Honey, even on her worst day, she can beat the shit out of Alexa Bliss. We know that. The thing about
exactly.
And I said this before on the last podcast that this match is not going to be really all that good. It's not, because it's a match from hell. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody gonna sit up here and gonna say now the moment of Bliss was hilarious. I love this shit because she tried to twist it around. The bitch know that she
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I like that shit. But she just I don't want to see that match again. I just don't.
Exactly. I mean, move on to something else. I mean, give Nia another competitor. Give her Amber Moon. Give her Ruby Riott. At least.
Yeah.
I would love to see Nia Jax and Ruby Riott. I mean, I think those two would tear the house down. Seriously.
Honestly, I want to see Amber Moon first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
First, and it's just like I said, I'm afraid that Amber Moon is going to get lost in the shuffle because they don't have nothing for her to do. And
I definitely do not want to see that happen. Because Amber Moon has so much potential for her to get lost in the shuffle.
She does.
Seriously.
But I just don't think I don't think the WWE creative writers on the main roster sees that shit. Hell, I don't even think that they even pay attention to NXT because half the shit that they be doing, like these packaged videos, I'm like, have you ever seen her wrestle before? Have you seen her become a champion and did some of the damn moves in NXT that we have not even seen before? Have you not seen that stunner that she does? No, because they come in here, oh, she's a newbie. We don't know nothing about her, so she's going to go in the back of the line. We don't know her.
And another one thing that crossed my mind is that next month is Money in the Bank, and when they had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, I definitely want to see Ruby Riott in that match, and I definitely want to see her win the briefcase. I definitely want to see Ruby Riott win that briefcase.
Ruby Riott?
Yes, I want her to be in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I want her to win the briefcase. Seriously.
No.
Either her or Asuka, or maybe someone else. Who knows? But I definitely want to see Ruby Riott in that ladder match.
Well, maybe. I think. I'm sorry. I'm just on Moon. I love Moon so freaking much. I will.
Definitely.
Over SmackDown any fucking day of the week because she is the one that really needs to be dominating SmackDown or Raw. She really do. Not taking anything from the top Nia Jax, but Nia Jax is just, she doesn't really do anything for me as a face. I know she's new. She's a new face. But it's just all this shit. It's just not doing me any favors. It's not doing her any favors either.
Especially
that she
for Amber. Amber, she brings something new to the table because Amber Moon definitely brings something new to the table. But the fact of the matter is her ring gear, her overall performance, everything about what she does in the ring. She tells a story in that ring
Right.
You can
And that's what some of
see
these
the
wrestlers.
emotion.
This is what some of these wrestlers are lacking. They do not know how to tell a story, and because you do not know how to tell a story, that's why some of your matches is whack as fuck.
Especially, and one more thing, please, I mean, even though, like, you know, Roman beat Samoa Joe tonight, please turn Roman heel. Please, WWE, I'm begging you, just turn him heel already. Please. Listen to the crowd. They're in my home state of Jersey. They do not like Roman. No one likes Roman. Just turn him heel and get it over with. Stop torturing us with this bullshit ass Roman. Please. He's not the top guy in the company. I'm sorry, he's not. I hate to say it, but he is not.
The problem is, unfortunately, Kenan, this would have been a perfect night for him to start his heel burn. This would have been
agree.
a perfect night. If they would have continued with this losing streak, this would have been perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Then his mind would have started, like, you know, going in other places, like, should I even play this good guy role? Like, you know what I'm saying? Am I losing my confidence? That type of shit. And then meanwhile, Joe is being a monster heel on SmackDown. Nigga, you just beat the face of the fucking company. Like, literally.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said that would have been more momentum for SmackDown. It would have been more momentum for Raw, because now this little slow burn is happening for Roman, which they would have changed his identity. They would have changed up his attitude. They would have changed his mindset, you know, that type of shit. The WWE do not know how to think when it comes to building future storylines or building like future, like, you know, rivalries or whatever. The WWE wants shit done in 15 seconds or less. Just like Domino's Pizza, they want shit done 30 minutes or less. No matter how greasy
Exactly.
it is,
and to be honest,
how fucked up the storyline is, they just want this done and move on to the next. And it does not work that way in some of these storylines. They need to take.
And to be honest, I would. And to be honest, I mean, even though, you know, Roman did kind of got screwed at the Greatest Royal Rumble, I would have expected, like, you know, after that match, I would have expected Roman to turn heel that day. Seriously.
No, it wouldn't have been a perfect time. It wouldn't have been a perfect time. Like, I mean, you know, I think this match with Samoa Joe should have been, it should have been the focal point for him to turn heel. Now with the shit with Brock, I think that was a mistake on the WWE's part.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have thought about it before, you know, because, you know, Roman Reigns did his feet did touch.
His feet did touch the ground first. I mean, it did touch the ground first.
Yeah, we see it as clear as day. Now, Melissa asked about my take about Hulk Hogan's return.
Oh, God, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I heard about this earlier. Please do not bring this man back. This racist piece of shit, do not bring him back. Please. WWE, if you have some sense, don't do it. Please don't. Please.
Melissa, before I answer this question, please do not think that I'm an asshole when I say this, okay? How can I say this without being disrespectful? I do not want Hulk Hogan back at all. There's no need for Hulk Hogan to be in the WWE. I've had this discussion in my wrestling group that I run, and for the people that wants to join in WCC, it's called Wrestling Commentary Central. Send a request, and I'll add you to the group. But anyway, I really feel that Hulk Hogan, racist ass, do not need to come back to the WWE. He needs to say retired or whatever, because like I said, God knows what he says behind closed doors when the camera is not in his face. Because as you know,
I agree
that when the cameras is actually paying attention, or when the hidden cameras is on his mouth, the man says all types of racist shit. Now, some people throw in and say, oh, well, Booker T is racist. Well, you never heard Booker T call motherfuckers of crackers or whatever, or Mexican spicks and all that other shit. We heard this shit from Hulk Hogan. Okay? And he also said this shit about his best friend, The Rock, calling him a nigger. Really? He don't want his daughter dating niggers. Come on now. I mean, do you really want a racist to come back? And then the people, the fans gonna sit up here and gonna say that, okay, well, Hulk Hogan can still draw a crowd. Bitch, where? Maybe in 1995 when he first came out with Hulk Hogan, when Hulkamania was relevant, yes, the man can draw a lot of fans. But now, old Hulk Hogan can draw a crowd?
I don't think so. Especially which, if they bring him back to WWE, what kind of message will it send to the kids? Oh, it's okay to be racist? I don't think so. Sorry. No. And trust me, no. Please don't.
That's all I'm saying. So that's
all. You talk about, like,
good point. You hit a very good point because the WWE is all about kids, right? So you said that this man said nigger this and nigger that, quote, 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 quote. And you say this racist back to the WWE? What type of message does that send to your kids? I mean, you said it's family orientated, right? So you okay to call The Rock a nigger, right? So
I mean, they're all about this, like, be a star program, this anti-bullying program, and then yet they're gonna bring a racist back? What kind of message are they sending? I mean, what's going on behind closed doors?
Well, but you know what? Since we want to spill the tea on racists, I mean, shit. Vince McMahon is best friends with Donald Trump, and he the biggest racist motherfuckers of them all.
Oh, speaking of which, earlier today, the rapper Childish Gambino, his video, "This Is America," OMG.
Yes,
OMG.
My friend did tell me about that shit though, but I'm gonna probably watch that after I'm done with the podcast.
That video is an eye opener. Seriously.
I'll probably watch that shit. Yeah, I gotta get going. I gotta close the show real quick. But Kenan, as always, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it, bro.
Anytime.
All right, see you later.
Peace out.
All right, everybody. So we are going to close the show. You guys have been phenomenal tonight. So I'm going to get Mr. Oh shit, I don't even have him anymore. I can't believe y'all still up. That's the crazy part. Mr. Matt, if you are still here, let's go ahead and close the show. And so I can get my black ass up in like 3 hours so I can go ahead and do what I do on Mondays. Whatever. What sleep? The sleep like right now, because I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm tired. I'm tired. Actually, I'm probably not gonna do anything. I'll probably play WWE 2K18 when I get off of here, and probably just look at some YouTube shit. That's probably what I'm gonna be doing. That's about it, really. Matt, where you at? Where you at? I don't know where Matt is. I think he gone. Okay. All right. So everybody, yes, I'm on PS4. Yes, if you want to look me up, come, go ahead, look me up. We're probably not gonna play tonight. We'll probably play tomorrow. But anyway, I do not know where Matt is, but wherever he is, good night, bro. But for everybody, I just got some, last minute promos, whatever. I've been doing this throughout the show, whatever. But if you want to join our wrestling group, it's called WCC Wrestling Commentary Central. Here on Facebook. Currently, what we're doing is we're doing two contests right now. One, whoever is the #1 contributor at the end of the month will be WCC champion, which they will have their picture on our banner, and they will have to defend their title month after month after month until they lose their #1 spot, whatever. Just like wrestling, they'll fight for it. They'll fight for their title, defend their title, blah, 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 blah. Really cool, really cool. Also, I think Matt is having a drawing right now for fans that did, I believe, their predictions for Backlash, whatever. Whoever wins will get a $25 gift card, so that's fucking awesome. So we got some other things that's going to be going on in WCC. So if you guys want to check out our group more, by all means, get the word out about our group, get the word about our podcast. Remind you, for the people that came in one more time, if you guys want to check our podcasts every Thursday night, we are available. We are live 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, every Thursday night. So until that time, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining our podcast. And for the people that's on YouTube that's watching, listening to this video right now, subscribe to this video at #HealsForLife at YouTube.com. Until that time, I'm your host, Mr. Team Briggett. Mr. Sea Dog is somewhere around. We'll see you guys this Thursday coming up. Good night.